This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Disconnect the negative battery cable before continuing. The battery is located at the rear of the engine compartment under the bulkhead. Slide the plastic cover in the direction of the arrows, then lift it out to gain access to the negative battery terminal. Loosen the clamp nut, then disconnect the battery negative lead from the terminal. Where applicable, remove the engine top cover. Jack up the front of the car and support it on axle stands. Remove the auxiliary drive belts. Remove the undershield from under the engine compartment if fitted. If the drive belts are to be reused, mark them for clockwise direction to ensure they are refitted the same way round. Before removing the drive belts, note how each belt is routed to ensure proper refitting. On models with air conditioning, loosen the pivot and tension bolts. And move the tensioner roller upwards to release the tension on the drive belt. Slip the drive belt from the crankshaft, compressor and tensioner pulleys. To remove the main drive belt, move the tensioner clockwise using a spanner on the flats to release the tension. Hold the tensioner in this position, then slip the drive belt off the alternator pulley and slowly release the tensioner to its stopping point. Remove the drive belt from the crankshaft, alternator, viscous fan and power steering pump pulleys and manoeuvre it from the engine. Loosen the clip and disconnect the intercooler air duct from the throttle housing. It will be necessary for the viscous coupled cooling fan to be unbolted and positioned aside for the removal of the alternator. Counterhold the drive pulley with a 5x60mm bolt or alternatively a correctly sized centre punch engaged with the small holes located around the pulley rim. Pass an 8mm Allen key through the drive pulley mounting bracket and engage it with the rear of the pulley shaft bolt. Slacken and withdraw the bolt. Slide the fan off the mounting and position it safely aside from the alternator. Unscrew and remove the alternator upper and lower mounting bolts. Slide the alternator free of the mounting, then rotate it to expose the wiring connections. Release any wiring retaining clips from the alternator, then disconnect the alternator wiring connections. Push the coolant pipe to one side and withdraw the alternator from the engine. Offer the alternator into the engine. Position it near the mounting to allow access to the wiring connections. Connect the alternator wiring connections to the proper terminals. Tighten all nuts on the terminals securely. Attach any retaining clips to the alternator wiring. Rotate and slide the alternator into the mounting and refit the alternator mounting bolts. Tighten the alternator mounting bolts to the specified torque. Refit the viscous coupled cooling fan into the mounting and install the mounting bolt. Counterhold the fan using the method described during removal and tighten the shaft bolt to the specified torque. Connect the intercooler air duct to the throttle housing and secure all hose clips. Refit the auxiliary drive belts. Locate the main drive belt loosely on the pulleys, routing it the same way as noted before removal. Using a spanner, rotate the tensioner clockwise to allow the drive belt to be slipped onto the alternator pulley, then slowly release the tensioner. Make sure that the belt is correctly located in all the pulley grooves. On models with air conditioning, locate the drive belt on the compressor and crankshaft pulleys, making sure that it is correctly located in all the pulley grooves. Move the tensioner pulley downwards and engage the drive belt with the pulley grooves. Tension the drive belt by applying a torque of 30 Nm to the hexagon on the tensioner body. Hold this torque, then tighten the adjustment and pivot bolts. Refit the engine undershield where fitted and lower the vehicle to the ground. Refit the engine top cover. Reconnect the battery negative lead to the terminal and tighten the clamp nut. Refit the plastic cover and slide it securely into place. Reactivate the radio by inserting the security code.